Hello, this is Karen Rowan with Command Performance, and I'm here with Adriana Ramírez and Margarita Peréz García, the authors of these two books. And I am about to start a Spanish class, the intermediate Spanish class for adults using these two books. And when these books were about to come out, I really don't know a lot about arepas, and so I decided to go find out everything I could. What I found out first was that I know where arepas are from, but at the beginning, to be able to find out where they were from, I went to as many restaurants as I could find. And so if you just go into your map function on your phone and look for arepas near you, you'll see that, however far away they are. And from where I was at the time that I did it to begin with, the first one was about an hour away. And so I went to one in Portland, Oregon, and then outside of Portland, and then I went back to Denver, and I went to Denver and Golden, Colorado, and went to Venezuelan and Colombian, and I think I have 8 or 9 of them, and I'll share all those pictures. But the reason was I wanted to know what the difference was, and I wanted to know how arepas were made. The other thing that I learned is that there are teacher's guides, and so there's so much support for being able to teach the books that I have all the information that I need, even though I didn't know anything about arepas when I started. So now I know which ones I like better. I know where they came from, but in order to for anyone else to know that, you're going to have to read the books and then go try out Venezuelan and Colombian arepas. So I'm going to turn this over to Margarita and Adriana, who are going to talk to us about arepas, and then also challenge you to go check out for yourself what the difference is between a Venezuelan and a Colombian arepa. Who is going to talk first?
Okay.
Adriana.
So, teachers, these two books are amazing to bring into your class. Both of them are very cultural, and they're around food. So, for those that have food units or like teaching about food or need to teach about food, these books are bringing food inside out because they are written by a Venezuelan author and by a Colombian author about our foods, the foods that we grew up eating. They're part of our DNA. So they are as authentic as they get, these two books. They will bring to life a food unit because everything that you're teaching is tied to history, tied to reality, tied to lived experiences of both authors. And on top of that, you're learning a lot. You're learning about food, you're learning about culture, and we have recipes in both books. You'll see recipes that you can do with your students, and you can try it out and experiment and eat in class, which is something that will bring the books to life. With both books, that both of them have a teacher's guide and audiobook, you will have easily a month and a half. I could say that even 2 months, depending on how often you see them. If you see them every other day, easily 2 months of teaching with the books and the teacher's guides. So you're set with this pair of books. Margarita.
The two books are perfect for end of year one, beginning of year two. As Adriana said, rightly so, perfect for a food unit. But what I like the most is that these books are open doors to other themes, more universal themes. For example, Adriana's book um, talks about cultural identity and pride, friendship and conflict, the role of social media in modern relationships, communication and miscommunication, food as a bridge between cultures, tradition and modernity too, because the book addresses how arepas were made originally from scratch and how they are made today. In my book, We also talk about the challenges of immigration and the Venezuelan diaspora, cultural resilience and adaptation, food as a connection to home. So the two books they complete each other. They are two sisters' books. We conceive them as two books that come together. Teachers would start teaching arepas de donde son to get the cultural background and what are arepas, how they make, how they originated, etc. And it follows, then the books are linked with each other within the books, and they follow with Arepa versus the Arepa. That is a playful contest, a fantasy between two arepas that fight for the title of the world's best breakfast. The two books are written with a total of 220 words, including cognates, every single word. They are really easy to read, and vocabulary is introduced progressively after chapter, and the two books have a common load of words. So once you read the first, you are already prepared to launch on to the second book. And they come, Adriana, you mentioned this, they come with audiobooks and a teacher guide. And Adriana, I'm going to say over to you because you conceived such an amazing structure for the teaching guides. Explain to us, please, the structure of the teaching guides, and in particular, this thing about the song. Tell us all about that, please.
So the teacher guides, you're going to love them because they are paperless. You just project them, and then students can read, write, answer on their notebooks. Everything is there, everything from personalized questions to comprehension questions to vocab that you need to preload before you read each chapter, pictures to do picture talk, action verbs to do TPR, a song, because I always like trying to tackle all the senses when we're reading a book. So I try to bring a song no matter the book that I'm reading. So Margarita and I found beautiful songs that go along with every book. Like both books have their songs. So students will be singing, learning from the music, experimenting movement through the song because you can dance move. And it also has assessments. Both offer an intercultural way of assessing this topic. So students can bring their own cultural background. So they're learning about arepas, but they can also at the same time learn about their own cultures and bring that learning into the class. So we're also bringing an oral assessment for the end and a written assessment for the end. Both teachers' guides are so complete. And the last thing that I want to say is that Margarita recorded her audiobook, and it's so pretty because the book, it's a Venezuelan book, and she's Venezuelan, so she has her Venezuelan accent. And then I recorded my audiobook. I honestly think Margarita has a way better voice than mine. Like I listened to her and I'm so in love. But I was like, oh, you record mine. And then I said, well, I'm just going to use my Colombian accent for my book because my book takes place in Colombia. So the other beautiful thing about it is that you're exposing your students to two accents. That when you're listening these audiobooks, you will clearly hear the Venezuelan accent and will clearly hear the Colombian paisa from Medellin accent, which is also pretty neat. And it makes the experience even more authentic.
Okay, so I want to ask you about this idea of trying to get people out into local businesses. And this is a real big passion of mine because I don't want people to be supporting these big, like Taco Bell does not count, corporations like that don't count, but these little local businesses, I don't know about the rest of I mean, we are representing 3 different countries here right now. But we are losing a lot of our small businesses here. They aren't getting the support that they need to stay open, and that has been going on since the pandemic. So going to these small businesses is not just to go and take the books and go try out the arepas from Venezuela or Colombia, but also to tag those businesses on social media and tell people, review them, and get more people out there trying out arepas. So that's what I did with a lot of them. And every business was so excited that we were doing this. I showed them the books and I said, this is what we're doing. That I have friends who wrote these books, and well, I'm trying to decide if arepas are from Venezuela and Colombia. And every single restaurant had an opinion. Every single person was like, oh, well, one of them is right and one of them is wrong. So they let me take pictures, they let me take videos, and so all those things I'm able to share with my students too. So I wanted to let you all try to do that too. And so we're gonna post the instructions for taking the books to the restaurants and what to tag and post on social media. But tell us about Amor de Arepas.
Amor de Arepas, like what we are doing in February. So yeah. So these two books are a love story for us because we have never worked as close in a subject that is as really close and center for our cultures together. And we wanted to make it really special. So instead of, or on top of encouraging you to do all the dates you want in February, we also want to encourage you to have a date with a book. A date with a book. We want to encourage you to share the love of the arepas, to go on to whatever maps app you use to look for arepas businesses, either from Colombia, from Venezuela, from both, and go and try these arepas for you. Take photos with the books, all details to follow. And since you are going to share with us our love for arepas, we are going to share with you love for love, our love for our teaching profession, for the students, for you teachers, and we are going to send you big love back by sending you audiobooks and teaching guides. And Karen, you will explain
All the
how
details will be posted wherever you see this post.
Yeah, all the details, description, and how to do it will be posted below.
But we
Yeah,
can't
so-
wait to have you all
So
try
the idea,
this.
yes,
Because the
idea
books are
is
great, but arepas are even better.
I will not disagree. And so, yeah, let's do the love for arepas book dates thing. Share the love and get loved back by the authors.
It's great. I'm excited about the teacher's guides. I'm excited that all the work is done for me, and I'm excited that I don't have to I don't have to come up with all this information on my own. You have done it all. You've done the audiobooks, you've done the teacher's guides, you've done and I get to go. The only thing that's left, maybe we'll talk about this after the Amor de Arepas in February. Only thing that's left is I don't know how to cook them. So maybe we do that next.
In the future, we'll get there. You need to learn about them first.
All right. Thank you.